like the big dark cloud hangs over Manhattan Beach.
We're a very close community here, and everybody knows everybody. And they are appalled at apparently what had happened.
And in my 13 years in working in this field, I've never seen a situation that compares with this one.
This is the largest child molestation case ever in the country.
It sent shockwaves around the world, and the repercussions are certain to be felt for years to come.
When the children started talking about robes and candles, you could see that it had to be satanic.
We are continuing to examine evidence, following up on a substantial...
Wanted by the FBI as a criminal instead of a victim.
The shocker, it was stunning.
I have seen ambulances. I cannot tell you if there have been any injuries.
It was an evil act of terror.
Good evening from Washington, D.C. 6 years ago, Raymond Buckey was a preschool teacher in a middle-class California community. Today, he is stigmatized as the chief defendant in the McMartin preschool child molestation case, the longest and costliest criminal trial in United States history. And what do you want to do in your life?
I want to be left alone. You know, as simple and as odd as that may seem, or not odd, but I just want to be left alone. I guess it was like 81. I was 23. I was young, never faced the world. I was living in the South Bay, Manhattan Beach, with my family. We were very happy. It was a small little beach town, small community. Very happy place to grow up and be. Very wonderful place to be. But looking back on it now, it was a perfect storm. It was a very powerful moment of my life. This is where I faced life, and it made me into what I am.
In the early 1980s was very interesting because social change, social strains were really seen as very threatening. We had an increasingly educated population, college educated, so there were women that could be brought into the work environment. But it did leave a problem in terms of the fact that most parents were reluctant. They felt somewhat guilty, maybe even a little bit ashamed of putting their children into daycare.
McMartin Preschool was my grandmother's preschool. It was a half-day school for upper middle class children. She had ran it for 28 years. She had won every award in the city. You know, she had anybody who was anybody go to her preschool, the mayor, the police chief. So it had a great reputation. I had never really tried or thought about becoming a teacher in there, but I knew how important it was and how happy it made my mother and grandmother. And I decided to take it seriously, took early education classes, and then eventually I became one of the teachers. It was a very positive part of my life.
The school was run on a day-to-day basis by Peggy Buckey, Raymond's mother. Virginia McMartin, the owner, came by frequently. There were 5 other teachers. Raymond, Peggy's son, Peggy and Bucky, his sister, and then Betty Rader, Babette Spittler, and Marianne Jackson.
The story starts at the McMartin Preschool Center when a woman by the name of Judy Johnson called the Manhattan Beach Police Department and said that she believed that her son had been sexually abused. He allegedly told her that Raymond Buckey had taken his temperature. Her son had reddening around the anus, and she assumed that that meant that he had penetrated the little boy, and therefore she called the police.
Right after that, what they did was they arrested me. I was petrified. I was scared because I didn't do anything. Judy Johnson, her child is a 2-year-old child. He was in the preschool for a very short time. He was never in my class. He didn't talk. He didn't say anything. The child was nonverbal. That's absurd.
After he was arrested, we received a call from a parent who said the police were circulating a letter saying essentially, we are investigating one case of one child having been molested. We'd appreciate any evidence you have that may help corroborate the allegations or disprove them.
There's more allegations from Judy Johnson about oral sex, fondling of genitals, sodomy, and then suggesting that photos may have been taken. And it ends with a prophetic, please keep this investigation strictly confidential. Do not discuss it with anyone else.
It was just a nightmare in the city because the allegations were hideous even to imagine. So to be accused of them, it was horrible. You know, it really affected me. People started dropping out of the preschool. And it was a small community just starting to get really scary with the threats. What my family did is probably the worst thing we did to fuel it is they filed a civil suit against the Manhattan Beach Police.
The district attorney's office decides to process these parents and children at the Children's Institute International, headed up by therapist Key McFarland.
If there hadn't been a Key McFarland, it would not have carried on. This probably wouldn't have happened the way it did. It wouldn't have been as big.
I know a lot of parents who are listening now are thinking, if this had happened to my children, I would know. Might they know?
I've heard that now from almost 150 parents that have been to our agency, and these are wonderful families that are very close to their children and have very caring relationships, but I think parents underestimate what children will go through and the resources that they will use to protect their own parents. I mean, they see themselves as helping their family by not talking about this.
Her basic premise was that children aren't going to reveal having been abused. So she was under the impression that she needed to draw children out. And to draw children out, she decided to make a game of it. And she made a game of it by having these anatomically correct dolls and to say to them, you don't have to tell me what happened, just show me what happened.
Sometimes secrets are kind of yucky. Do you know any yucky secrets?
So Key McFarland begins eliciting confessions, allegations from these children, and it's videotaped.
And in my 13 years in working in this field, I've never seen a situation that compares with this one.
Therapist Key McFarland says she has evaluated 145 children who were abused and has never seen children as frightened.
One of the things that a number of children have done is used a puppet to tell what happened to them. Then they'll drop the puppet off their hand and I'll say, what happened to Pac-Man? And they'll say, he just died, he was killed. And I'll say, well, why did he die? And they'll say, because he told the secret.
He said the kids were all naked, pictures were being taken. Some of the kids even say they had gone to the local Catholic church where these hooded, robed adults would chant while sacrifices were made on the altar. The satanic practices. It was shocking, and all of this going on was for a money-making, very profitable enterprise. Child pornography, child prostitution.
At the end of videotaped interviews of these children, he would come out and tell the parents, waiting anxiously, sometimes with 2 kids, and say, well, Bobby is number 189. I'm sorry to tell you, he's been molested.
He would say, well, don't just take my word for it. Here, look at the videotape. And would fast forward the videotape to the point where the child first makes the acknowledgement of molestation.
There is no doubt in my mind, or anybody else's mind, that he was definitely sexually molested.
And you got that by watching the videotape?
By watching the videotape.
Are you going to be all right?
We're in the... I feel like I'm in the acute stage of a crisis that's gone on forever and ever. Maybe one of these days when it's all over, I can sit down and cry, or sit down and let myself go.
Well, my little girl explicitly said to me, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it.
And she's 3.
And she's 3.
There are moments, there are nights when she wakes up in tears, screaming.
The Saluses, Marilyn and Bob Salus and their son Rob, and they are at our studios in Los Angeles. Bob, when you confronted your son, he finally admitted it to the investigative unit, and then did you. Was there any question in your mind that he was fabricating it?
Yes, there was some questions in our mind on the veracity of a lot of these points, but those questions went away after a while.
The allegations of Satanism, these slaughtering horses on the altar, you'd think there'd be some evidence of that. No. No physical evidence, no pictures, nothing. It didn't matter.
As the CII investigations continued, they kept identifying more former preschoolers. Key McFarland interviewed almost all 400 of the kids, and she said she had these oh my God moments when she realized Raymond Bucky couldn't have abused all these children without the complicity of the other teachers. And if you're just a normal, common sense person, there's no reason not to believe it.
The other suspects were Raymond's mother, grandmother, sister, and 3 other teachers, Mary Ann Jackson, Babette Spittler, and Betty Rader.
Apparently the people who ran the school were very, very careful with the people that they brought into the school. There's a substructure of people who are child molesters. And through that substructure of life, that underworld of life, people can be brought in, recruited for the school, and people who do not come from that subculture or that particular underworld would not be hired at that school.
At the Easy Reader, a local weekly, publisher Kevin Cody has been following the cases.
It's a kind of accusation that's almost impossible to prosecute. You have a child witness against an adult, particularly if the adult's an upstanding pillar in the community.
Prosecutors had videotapes of the kids making the allegations, but they just had no evidence. And then the children are interviewed by Astrid Hager, the physician, who's an expert in child abuse, and she photographs the girls' vaginal areas, concluding, yes, there's evidence of blunt force trauma. And so now there's really not much doubt about the guilt of the defendants. Because you had the police, the doctors, the psychologists, the DA, all saying it happened. And if you're a parent, you're thinking, we want these people arrested and we want justice.
What we have here are tiny little children having the most heinous terrorism, vicious terrorism perpetrated upon them, and the perpetrators knew this. We know that they're guilty.
Authorities believe children were sexually abused.
The teachers molested more than 100 students at the McMartin Preschool in Manhattan Beach.
Not only at the McMartin Preschool, but also at several other locations.
The victims were aged 2 to 13.
Authorities now say that the systematic molesting which went on at McMartin Preschool is just the tip of the iceberg.
When we sat and watched that TV first program, I broke down crying because it was so intense and scary. It was like being in a firestorm. You know, just literally this overwhelming buzzing of what was going on around you. We had what we called trial by news media. It was just a nightmare, but I was not going to ever not stand strong because I knew everybody against us was wrong. We didn't know this was going to happen, but, you know, what was a surprise is there's cameras behind the police filming the whole thing. The news media had already been taking hold of this whole thing. It had a life of its own. We weren't being able to control anything.
We are alleging, and it is indicated in the indictments, that approximately 100 children were sexually molested at the school over the past 10 years. We're talking about such acts as rape, sodomy, oral copulation, and fondling. To obtain their silence, these people told the children that their parents would be harmed. And in order to back up that threat, small animals were actually slaughtered in the children's presence in order to frighten them into submission.
I thought they were guilty too. My feeling was, you know, this isn't some, you know, rural county where there's a crazy guy who's the sheriff and another crazy guy who's the prosecutor. These are all smart people.
Although parents feel some sense of relief, it should now be made clear that these indictments do not go far enough.
This is the largest child molestation case ever in the country.
The McMartin case was very interesting because we were talking about something we had never heard of before, satanic ritual abuse. The story just grew exponentially and was really epitomized, I think, in the Geraldo Rivera 2-hour special, which drew more viewers than any other television show in the history of the United States at that period of time.
Devil worship. Exposing Satan's underground.
Whether a Satan exists is a matter of belief, but we are certain that Satanism exists. To some, it's a religion. To others, it's the practice of evil in the devil's name. It exists, and it's flourishing. Members of our studio audience tonight will attest to that. They are friends and foes of Satanism, devil worshippers and law enforcers, experts and victims. They'll help us understand this force that exalts evil and darkness. Let's go now to the McMartin preschool parents who have gathered for us. Please tell us why you believe this was part of a ritual cult, abuse as part of a satanic cult.
Well, the easiest reason to that question, Geraldo, is the fact when the children started talking, they started talking about robes and candles. They described an Episcopal church. And once they started narrowing that down, you could see that it had to be satanic.
I was thrown in county jail. I was threatened from day one. I was in there every day by inmates and by the officers who were supposedly protecting me. Literally everything was taken away from me. My freedom, my life, my family was torn apart, and it looked to me that it was never coming back.
We thought our chances were slim to none. Peggy Ann was about a year older than my own daughter at the time. And I didn't know how to tell Peggy Ann's father I may never get her out of jail.
I was inspired throughout my career to do the cases of our time, reaching into a kind of an intellectual and spiritual void. As I saw Ray, he was innocent. For 85% of the period of the time involving the children in the McMartin case, Ray Bucky was not there.
Danny comes to see me in jail. He says, "You have to go through this. There's no other way to deal with this." He said, "This is your test in life. This is your chance. And it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It's how you face it."
You know, I'd hope that once we show our side, that people can understand a little bit about really what happened in Manhattan Beach.
As attorneys appraising this case, we all recognize the absurdity of the charges, considering who they were levied against. But how to get the public to recognize this, how to persuade the judge to recognize this, was the challenge.
The first break really was I was able to make a very good arrangement with the Sheriff's Department, which permitted Ray and I to start hearing and seeing what were on the tapes. So we would look at a tape together, and Ray would just sit up and laugh, and he said, "I don't even know this child."
We're sitting and going, "Oh my God." Key McFarland had a mindset, the idea that if a child says no, that means you're in denial because they're afraid or whatever. So there's no such thing as a no answer. So if you say no, it means yes, you're just afraid to say yes.
All of us have to consider that this may not have happened, that this may be the result of a mass production of trauma and then hysteria.
A respected nursery school in a nice California town is the center of one of the worst child abuse scandals on record. Even seasoned investigators are shocked.
Most of the children frankly said on the tapes, Ray Bucky was not there when I went to school.
Key McFarland used the same cookie cutter interview process. Yeah, if a child says no, that means yes. You just have to use any means you can to break that down. She used all these techniques that you never used. You do not badger a child. You do not coerce a child. You do not use other children to say, well, all your friends saw this happen to you. She used all those techniques against these children. That was a big aha moment of like, oh my God, this is going to end the case. As soon as anybody sees this case, they're gonna say, I understand what happened. But it never worked out that way.
You're charged in indictment A750900 with 75 counts. Each of those counts charge you with having committed the crime of lewd or lascivious acts upon children under the age of 14.
We knew that we were up against a battle because we knew that the children were going to get up there and say the worst type of allegations you could have against you. Raping them, threatening them, slaughtering animals, letting them be abused by everybody else. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough watching those children get up there and, make their allegations. Because you know that everybody wants to believe these children. I rose within myself and says, Ray, you did not do anything here. Stand tall. Face this. Face all this, even if it kills you.
The longest pre-trial hearing in California history is over. After 18 months and $4 million, the McMartin preschool child abuse case is going to trial.
I've gained a lot more faith in the system today. I feel real good about it.
I was disappointed, but after the preliminary hearing, I learned that the district attorney's office had been trying to decide what to do with the case. They knew it was an albatross haunting them. They simply wanted it not to turn into a total and complete fiasco.
There was a startling development today in the 2-year-old case of 7 teachers accused of sexually abusing the children in their Southern California nursery school. A prosecutor dropped charges against all but 2 defendants. Those 2 are the daughter and grandson of the founder of the McMartin Preschool in Manhattan Beach, California.
A judge finally ruled last week there is probable cause to believe all 7 committed crimes. But the district attorney now says he can't prove it.
What we're left with at this point is that for 5 of the 7 defendants in the McMartin case, the evidence is so slim that it does not go beyond the mere accusation.
I told you about the unfairness, the injustice, and the dishonesty in this court.
2 years out of my life has been taken from me. Time I should be spending with my husband, with my children and my grandchildren.
She and her husband have lost their home and their life savings to pay for her defense. But most importantly, she says, she's lost her reputation.
Here I sit with a cloud over my head. They haven't said I'm innocent, really and truly. They just said there's nothing. I'm an uncharged suspect.
Mrs. Rader, are you bitter?
No. I got angry at times, but anger you get over.
I'm pleased that the charges were dropped against 5 of us. I'm still very saddened by the fact that 2 innocent people are sitting in jail right now. The same reasons that they dropped against us, lack of evidence is exactly the same on those 2 people. And there is no reason why, if they dropped against us, that my mother and my brother have not been dropped against.
Why do you think the case came to court in the first place then, if there's no evidence?
That's a good question.
We are still extremely disappointed at the decision that the district attorney's office has made in this matter. We still feel that those 5 people are guilty. We still believe our children. But one thing that did make us feel good is it became very clear to us that the actions of the district attorney's office in this particular case, their statement was not that these people were innocent, but only that given the evidence that they had, they felt there was, quote, insufficient evidence to proceed.
1,200 molested kids in the cities of the beach area, and they have 800 medicals to match up with those. And yet you can't even pursue on only 2 people who did this. It's unforgivable.
Well, Glenn Stevens, the former prosecutor, has joined us here in studio. And good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Brian.
Do you think the evidence was flawed, or do you think the people truly innocent?
I believe that the evidence is very flawed. Whether or not they're factually innocent is something that is always going to be open to speculation. I doubt that anything ever happened at the school based on the evidence that I've seen.
Judy Johnson was found out to be schizophrenic. Obviously made her state of mind very questionable. That was another aha moment. This is the person who started it. And eventually she would drink herself to death and die and kill herself. So she was never able to be brought into the trial, nor with her child, to show the jury and the world, how did this start?
What happened in this once massive case? Chief Prosecutor Lael Rubin rejected any suggestion that her case is unraveled.
I think it's very glib to talk about one's perceptions being something has happened to this case. This case is here, this case is viable, this case is going to go to trial, and a jury is going to hear the evidence. These innocent children place their trust in these 2 teachers who are before you, these 2 defendants. And it was these teachers who betrayed them.
I've assumed I was going to be convicted because of the allegations and who was making them, as if it was a safety issue. Well, let's just be safe. Let's just convict him. I was looking at a life sentence. But, you know, my opinion and everybody else's is, well, you're going to be killed in prison, so it's not a matter of how long you're going to live.
Astrid Hager, a very impressive-looking doctor, is on the witness stand. She puts a slide up of a child's vaginal area. She indicates on the slide evidence of trauma. So you can't refute that. You're not an expert. You never looked at these slides before. But the prosecution made the mistake of putting on a second physician, who was actually the physician who trained Astrid Hager. And then Danny Davis calls the second doctor up and puts a slide up on the screen for the jury and everybody to say, and says, there's a marker I'd like you to indicate on the slide where that damage is. No two doctors agreed where the damage was. So, poof, there is no medical evidence.
Now, I knew that one problem I'd have with Lael Rubin is she will use informants. So that's what she did. And she told me, we have a thorough confession by Ray Buckey, told to George Freeman.
They stuck me in one cell for a short time with George Freeman, who then became the snitch who says I confessed to him.
I have a behavioral psychology degree. I have worked with over 30,000 people in the past 43 years, and he was one of the best subjects that I have had. There's no question in my mind that he was telling the truth.
Dr. Chris Gugas, past president of the American Polygraph Association, offers that opinion after administering a polygraph exam to George Freeman on February 16.
They put him on, and George gets on the stand and he says, Ray told me this and told me that.
And it's been going on for a long time.
Did he say how long?
Since he was about 14.
But they've been doing kids since he was 14?
They've been doing movies.
Somebody put Freeman in a cell with my client. Ray plainly said, I'm not talking about my case, and didn't. He positioned himself across the cell so there was no chance that any video would suggest that he was talking to the guy. So I knew this was a very stinky informant.
I personally wouldn't believe Mr. Freeman based upon his record, as I've been given it, further than I can throw him.
He has no credibility at all. He's never had any credibility. There's no reason this jury should think anything he said except is a lie.
Lael Rubin has just used her last informant, only he ran out of informant gas before he got up for cross.
Have you ever touched a child in any manner whatsoever with your own specific intent to arouse or obtain sexual gratification? Did you ever see Ray holding a child in a manner that appeared he might be touching a child?
Never.
Even accidentally in the genital
No, never. I've never seen so many evil-minded people.
In fact, Mrs. McMartin, you knew that Raymond Buckey had a problem with touching children's genitals, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
In fact,
And don't try to put words in my mouth. I did not.
In fact, Peggy...
You are lying.
You will conscientiously consider and weigh the evidence, apply the law, and reach a just verdict regardless of the consequences.
My hope and my belief that the jury is going to come back and convict these defendants, and that the world will say this is a jury and this is a courtroom in which children were believed.
Don't be fooled. I will be frightened, but I feel God is taking me this far, and God will take us all the way. I believe God doesn't take me halfway, but all the way. And I feel that we will be found innocent.
I have faith and hope in them, but it's still fearful because I don't really know what they're going to do.
This has become the longest trial in U.S. history. There have been more than 90 witnesses and 50,000 pages of testimony. The price tag is estimated at $15 million.
Count 60, count 61, count 62, count 63, count 64, and count 65. Verdicts read substantially as follows. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the very defendants not guilty of the very crimes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this in fact your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
I really don't know what went through my head, Trucy. I just, I've had to try for so long with my son to convince him that I felt that there were not 12 jurors that would ever find him guilty, and I've been so distraught over knowing what he's been going through that my concern has always been for my son.
Very emotional moment for us because we realized the truth had been seen. But yeah, it was a moment. I'm glad to survive it.
It's over now. The jury has decided, deadlocked on 13 charges, but decided innocent, have acquitted Ray Buckey and Peggy McMartin Buckey.
The CII tapes did not help me. In fact, they gave me a lot of reasonable doubt.
The children were never allowed to say in their own words what happened to them. And to me, that was crucial.
I now realize how easily something can be said and misinterpreted and blown out of proportion.
Kay McFarland and her colleagues probably had the best of intentions, and that is to protect children and to punish people who hurt children. But they were very much influenced on something called the Child Sexual Abuse Accommodation Syndrome, which was authored by Rollin Summit, a psychiatrist in Los Angeles. It's based upon the assumption that children are always reluctant to disclose sexual abuse. And so Kay McFarland made protocols for interviewing traumatized children that would coax, cajole, and charm them into disclosure. Getting that fact involved the use of puppets and then sharing information with the child, saying things like, "But your friends told me this. Aren't you as smart as your friends?" in such a way that the child is likely to disclose something.
The important thing to know is Child Sexual Abuse Accommodation Syndrome, or CSAAS as it's known, was put forward by Summit with zero empirical foundation to it. And quite shockingly, it really continues to have a big influence today.
Talk about brainwashing, and they say that therapists instilled all this in the children, and how a therapist in a couple hours at Children's Institute could have put all of these, all our kids tell the same stories.
Why did the parents believe it? Well, that's a really intriguing question. What would be seen of a parent who didn't believe it? I think that the price of denial and the price of caution for parents at that period of time would have been awfully high. And it was better to believe, to show your support for the child, than it would be to walk away from this.
For CII videotapes, the jurors were expressing that they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
Well, that as you know, was a great focus of the defense in this case, and I think that we have all, during the course of this case and the course of this trial, begun to learn and assess ways of interviewing and talking to children.
So I think one positive to come out of the McMartin case is a new field of study was born on how we should interview children, with the main scientific finding that came out of all of this is let the child do the talking. Do not pressure the child.
Oh, there's many things. I don't think there's anyone in this case who wouldn't say that there aren't things that we would all do differently.
Do you use the same methods of interview now as you did then, or have you changed your approach to these types of interviews?
I think that the McMartin case is such an unusual case that and such an unusual circumstance of literally hundreds of children coming in here under an extremely pressured time frame that we've not seen anything that compares with it since. There are many things that we would do the same way. I think there are some things we would try to do differently.
The question wasn't you put words in their mouth.
No, I didn't put words in their mouth. I tried to enable them to get over their fears, to tell us whatever they may have to tell us, and they went on to do that. And they did that in court as well.
Moral panics burn themselves out. They collapse under their own weight. And that's essentially what happened in this case. There were maybe as many as 200 other satanic investigations that took place across the country. Many people were convicted, but their convictions were overturned. So it just got too big, too complicated, and it had lost its ability to ramp up the emotions of people in the moral outrage.
I was innocent coming in, and I'm still innocent because I've not been found guilty. And that's what I've always proclaimed. That's what I'm always going to proclaim. But no one won in the McMartin case. I never left the case after the case. I lived it in the South Bay for a lot of years. It just became part of my life. I went back to college, wanted to work with things that were inanimate objects and computers. Decided I didn't want to do that, so I went to law school for a year. Decided I didn't want to do that, so I just started doing maintenance. And then I went back to school to become an electrician. We tried to sue, but the judge says, the only way is if you can prove malice. Sorry, no compensation. Looking back on it now, it definitely had its effect on me in the soul. So I can't expect anybody who doesn't go through something like that to not have a little post-traumatic stress syndrome. And my mother did. She crashed. I've crashed a couple of times. But we realized most of these people were just working out of pure ignorance and just blindness. Because it was wrong.